signs that you are a wantrepreneur. You see, social media, it's giving a lot of people hopes, but also giving a lot of people fake hopes. And when you look on social media, everybody believes that everything they see on social media is probably true, right? And let me explain to you, some of the words are being overly used on social media that everybody call themselves one of this title. For example, people call themselves an influencer when they have not sold anything, they have not built anything, they have not grown anything, they didn't grow a company, they didn't build a company, they haven't sold any actual products, but they call themselves an influencer, right? Just because you know how to speak, just because you're charismatic with your words, that make themselves believe they are an influencer. To some extent, yes, but in the bigger extent, I believe that's not the case. That shouldn't be the case. Anybody who can influence someone else is because you have done it many times and you've done it with a lot of experience and you fail many times in what you're trying to influence others on, and ultimately you succeeded, right? And everybody call themselves a public figure. You know, I guess when you walk out of your house, you are a public figure, right? So here's another overly used word on social media, and I think this word is overly used millions of times. And this word is called entrepreneur. Everyone call themselves an entrepreneur. He's an entrepreneur. She's an entrepreneur. I am an entrepreneur. We gotta be an entrepreneur, right? In reality, most of these people you see on social media, they are not entrepreneur. They are what I call wantrepreneur. Let me say that again. Wantrepreneur. They want to be an entrepreneur. They want to have everything an entrepreneur has one day, the lifestyle, the nice cars, the wealth, but they are not willing to commit to do what the real entrepreneur does on a daily basis, right? Today, I'm gonna share with you some signs of someone who is actually a wantrepreneur instead of an entrepreneur, all right? Sign number one, they don't want to sell anything, but they want to teach everything. These are the people call themselves mentors, coaches, speakers, and they're great at it. That's the thing, they are great at it. Now, don't get me wrong, we need those people in our life to transfer book knowledge, concepts, and certain materials. Don't get me wrong, we need those people. But the problem is they really believe by teaching, by talking, by presenting, that makes themselves an entrepreneur. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you today is not the case. They're simply wantrepreneur. They might be a teacher, but they're not an entrepreneur, all right? You know, if you think about guys like Sam Walton, you know, founder of Walmart, you think about Henry Ford, the Ford, right, the car, Elon Musk, Tesla, Steve Jobs, Apple, you think about Jeff Bezos, Amazon. So when you think about those people, who do you think of them as? For me, I think of them as salespeople first, right? Before they are in front of a big crowd, before they speak on big stage, on television, on shows, on podcasts, they knock on certain people's door. They knock on many people's doors. They knock on investors' office door to try to sell a product or idea. They sold something before they actually became a CEO and founder. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Just by teaching does not make you an entrepreneur. To me, an entrepreneur, they have to sell something. They have to be great in selling something. That something could be tangible and intangible. They have to be able to develop leaders. They have to be able to hire the right people, fire the wrong people. They have to learn how to grow the company exponentially, consistently, year after year. So again, most people don't want to sell anything, but they want to teach everything. Sign number two, they are not comfortable on competing at all. They don't want to compete with their colleagues. They don't want to compete with people in the same industry. They don't want to compete with people outside of the industry. They are very against on competing. When they hear the word competing, they're not comfortable. Why? It's because they don't like to lose to eventually win big. Let me say that again. They don't like to lose to eventually win big, right? You know, as an entrepreneur, you're gonna lose a lot more, especially the first few years than you're winning. And how do you know you lose or win? The only way you can measure losing is by comparing and competing with somebody, right? That's why we have a scoreboard in sport. That's why we have a scoreboard in everything, right? So, you know, that's why there's a final score in a basketball game. Hey, 99, 96. The one who got 96, you lose, right? So without competing, you would not actually realize you actually lost and how much you lost and how hurtful that you actually lost, right? So entrepreneurs, they don't want to compete. They just want to collaborate, right? I mean, look, if you haven't have any value, if you haven't built any value, if you haven't grown a business, collaborating with another person who doesn't do anything means no growth. See, collaboration is important. That comes what? After you compete. So you gotta compete first. Most likely, when you start to compete, you're gonna lose first. You're gonna lose a lot more than you win first. You're gonna be so hurt first because you lost something. You lost a battle that you know you're supposed to win, but you still lost. And then eventually, you're gonna start to win because you're competing with people that is in the same space with you. And ultimately, eventually later, you can collaborate with people who's as successful as you are, or even more successful than you are, because you also have something to offer to them, right? Sign number 3, they are extremely obsessed about what other people think of them, say about them, and talk about them. They are so sensitive about people's comments, compliments, or criticism, meaning their entire direction, their entire life, or their entire business is dictated by other people's temperature. Meaning, if somebody say good thing about them, compliment them, somebody like them, they also like themselves. They're excited about themselves because other person like them. But then if another person says something about them negatively, or rain on their parade, on their idea, or drag them down, or be negative on them, their temperature, the other person is extremely, extremely negative. Now they also become negative because their life, their direction, their mood is also dictated by other person. And they're insecure, right? When you always worry about other people's opinion, you don't have that monster belief of what you're going after first. So you gotta figure it out. A real entrepreneur, they figured out, they have clarity on what they want. They have extreme clarity of what they're going after. They know what they're going after, all right? At the end, it doesn't matter people say good thing about them, bad thing about them. They know, regardless what people say about them, they control their own temperature. So entrepreneurs, they want people's agreement. They want people's compliments. They want people's permission. Sign number 4, they love to take credits, but they hate responsibilities. You know who I'm talking about. Of course you do. I dealt with a lot of those people many, many years in my company. And I'm gonna tell you today, entrepreneurs, they don't take credits quickly. They actually take responsibilities quickly. It's like a reversal thing, right? They take responsibilities quickly and they give away credits quickly to their people, to their team, right? But entrepreneurs, they are the reverse. They love to take credits. It's always me. Hey, did you see me? You know, oh, it's because of me. Look, if you are a credit taker quickly and you want to do it all the time, eventually nobody want to work with you. Nobody want to follow you. That makes you a entrepreneur. An entrepreneur knows how to build a dream team. They know how to keep good people. They know how to develop and ultimately grow their people to a level that their people don't even know they can grow to. And, you know, a lot of people over the years and asking me, why do you have so many people are willing to go through war for you? Why are they so loyal to you, but they're not loyal to me? I have many of those conversations with some of my leaders. Well, the reason is very simple. It's because I take responsibilities on developing them, cultivate them, sharpen their mindset, teach them everything I know, increase their skill set, teach them how to process issue. And when something goes right and they're growing, I don't talk about myself. I don't talk about what did I do for them. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? So again, entrepreneurs, they love credits, they take credits, but when something goes wrong, they immediately shift those responsibility to their peers, to other people. But only when victories come, they're the first one to show up. And the last sign, they are extremely bad with math. You know, all entrepreneurs, I believe they're great with math. They're great with numbers. When I was in college, I failed almost every single subject, but one of the subjects I always get A on is math. So I'm serious about what I'm talking about here. All entrepreneurs, they're great with numbers, meaning they know exactly what sales target they need to hit, their company need to hit on a monthly basis to get over the survival level. Every single month, they know that number. They know exactly what number and sales target they need to hit, their company need to hit on a yearly basis so they can have enough profit and revenue comes in so their company have a chance to scale and multiply. They know that numbers. When they sleep, they know their numbers. They wake up in the morning, they know that numbers. All right, they don't have to second doubt it. They already know those numbers, and they're extremely great on spending their monies on the right thing to scale the company. They're not stingy. Let's put it that way. Spending money on the right tool, hiring the right personnel, building the right technology so their company can grow and explode one day. But they're also on the reverse side, they're extremely stingy, extremely tight on spending money on things they don't need. You see what I'm saying? Entrepreneurs are the opposite. They just want to spend. They're overspender. They spend money on everything. They make $100,000, they spend $150,000. They make $1 million, they spend $1.8 million. They make $5 million, the company gross revenue, right? They spend $8 million. They're always negative. I have met many people, they make good money actually, all right? But they never have money. It's because they're bad with math. So entrepreneurs, they're bad with math, they're bad with numbers, they're bad with, accounting, they're bad with what comes in. They don't even know how much comes in. They don't know exactly how much goes out, and usually what goes out is a lot more than what comes in. That's the problem. So those are the 5 signs I'm telling you today what makes a person a entrepreneur instead of an entrepreneur. Again, everybody call themselves an entrepreneur. Everybody call themselves a business owner. Everybody call themselves an influencer, public figure. You can call yourself whatever you want to call. But I hope what I share with you today makes you to realize being an entrepreneur takes a lot more than just work hard and desire and commitment and belief. All those are intangible stuff that you need, don't get me wrong. But I share with you another few signs that you need to improve on that ultimately make you a great entrepreneur, okay? So guys, I appreciate every single week you guys are following my content and comments on my video and share my video. I really do appreciate it. Keep doing that, because I'm gonna keep doing what I am gonna do, what I am great at, to continue to come out with raw, relevant, practical contents to help you to improve your life and improve your business, okay? As always, there's a link below the video. Click on the link and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And guys, I see you very soon. Take care. JW here. JW here. If you like my content, comment below and download my JW Just Win app. See you next time.